Hello and welcome back to another episode of bigbusiness.co.in, where our goal is to grow your business. In this web series on how to start exports business, today we're going to discuss about the different types of containers that you can use in exports business. If you're new here and missed out our past videos where we had discussed in detail about product selection, how to find buyers, how to communicate with buyers, documents involved in export business, and various other interesting topics related to exports, then please go to our channel and watch these videos and you might find them useful. The easiest way to see these videos and watch them in a sequence will be to go to our channel, then select the playlist, and from the library there, click on the playlist that says how to export. Another way to see our past videos is to click on the I button on the top, and that will take you to our past videos on the subject matter of exports. Now let us come back to today's topic. In this video, we're going to discuss about different types of containers that are used in the export business. Containers are used in international trade to move cargo from one location to another location, and the body of the containers are generally made of corrugated steel and have a wooden flooring. Some of the popular types of containers are standard dry containers, open top containers, high cube containers, refrigerated containers, also known as reefer containers, and so on. It's a long list, and you can see the various types of containers on your screen now. The choice of containers used to transport different types of goods are decided as per application, materials being transported, the convenience, cost, and time-saving parameters. For example, standard dry containers are used to move general dry cargo. Temperature-sensitive cargo is moved with refrigerated containers. Liquid and powder type goods are moved with tank containers, so on. So each type of container is manufactured keeping in mind the end use or the application. When we talk about choosing the right container for the job, there are two aspects to it. One, the container shape and size, and the other is the important one is the seaworthiness or quality of the container. In my opinion, the quality of a container is a very, very important topic because I had suffered some losses in the beginning of my export-import business due to the lack of knowledge. Therefore, I'm going to talk to you about this first, even before we talk in detail about the other shapes and sizes of containers, applications, etc. Once you have an export order, you will book a container through your CHA or freight forwarder. At this point in time, you must inform these people to check the quality of the container and only move good quality container to your load point. It is not only enough to visually check, but they should also take some photos and videos of the container on all four sides plus the bottom of the container too while it's being loaded onto the trailer. This must be done at the empty container yard itself, and these photos should also have the automatic time and date stamp on it for future reference. To go one step further, you can also ask for the inspection report of the empty container that you want to pick up from the yard. This report will be generated by the inspectors, approved by the shipping line or container operators, of course. And so they will charge a small fee for this. However, it is suggested to take this report in spite of the cost involved because it's better to be safe than to be sorry. In case if they don't take it at the yard, then please remember to take these photos even before you can load your goods when the container arrives to your factory or warehouse, and don't forget to include the pictures of the container interior as well, especially the floorboard of the container. Now, why are we even talking about the quality of these containers? You must be wondering that we don't even own them. It belongs to the shipping company or container operators, and why should we be bothered about its quality and other issues? Well, here's the twist. These shipping companies are not running so profitable nowadays, and they try to make some extra money by way of other charges like demurrage and detention, and also from claims on container damages. We all know for sure that 90% and above, we only get a used container that has done several trips in the past carrying different goods to various destinations. While in transit, there's a high probability of these containers getting damaged. It could be a small scratch, or even it could be a hole in the wall of the container itself. It is not possible to get a factory fresh container at your doorstep when you book a new container. So, if you did not note these damages prior to loading, then after unloading the goods at the buyer's place and later when these containers are returned back to the empty container yard, then these companies will take advantage of the old damages and claim the importer or the exporter, you as the case may be, for these damages that already happened in the past shipments. To protect ourselves, we should justify our innocence by providing the inspection certificate taken earlier or the photos and videos taken prior to loading the goods on the container. Once in the past, it so happened when we tried to return back the empty container, the shipping company put a heavy claim on us and refused to let go the lorry that went to offload this empty container. And so even the innocent transport company was put under stress and had lost 2 days of their valuable business time. Finally, we had no choice but to pay first and release the lorry, and later we had submitted the photos taken earlier to prove that we had not damaged the container. It was possibly damaged earlier, and finally got back our penalty amount. Of course, it was a time-consuming battle which went over several days and several emails. So the moral of the story is better take preventive measures than to pay a heavy cost for no fault of yours. Now let's see about the different types of containers and their uses. Most of the standard dry cargo containers are made of steel. Some of the shipping dry containers is also made of aluminum. The aluminum made dry containers is slightly larger payload than the dry containers manufactured by steel. A dry cargo container is normally airtight, effectively preventing any outside element from damaging the goods that are shipped. These dry cargo containers are completely sealed off and water resistant. Standard shipping containers are used for most of the cargo movement domestically and internationally for almost all dry goods like boxes, pallets, sacks, barrels, etc. These containers are manufactured in accordance with the ISO standard in such a way to transfer from different modes of transport like trucks, ships, trains, etc. from one another. The quality of most of the containers are inspected and approved by the Classification Society. Now let us see the use of standard dry containers. Standard dry containers are used to transport all types of general cargo dry goods by road, rail, or water. Mainly two types of standard dry containers are there, 20 feet and 40 feet, which is suitable for most types of cargo. Sometimes 45 feet dry containers are also available to transport lengthy cargoes. Almost all cargo containers are built in accordance with the specification requirements of TIR, CCC agreements and International Convention of Safe Containers. Lashing rings are available on the inner side of the containers to secure your goods and provide more safety while being transported. The payload details are indicated on side or maybe a rear on the door of the dry containers. However, the rules and regulations on maximum weight conditions may differ from country to country based on VGM, which stands for Verified Gross Mass. So now let's look at reefer containers. Reefer containers are used to transport goods where temperature conditions have to be controlled in order to make sure that the goods transported reach in a fresh and marketable manner at the destination port. When you use reefer containers, make sure you inform the lorry drivers or the logistics company to keep the container plugged in to their vehicle's electricity system, and also the refrigeration is not cut off on the way to the port of loading in order to save on diesel cost. Some lorry owners don't care about the value of the goods and just want to save money on the diesel cost, and so switch off the electricity supply while on transit. Okay, now let's see the open top containers and its usage. Open top containers are used to transport over height or over lengthy cargo, or a combination of both. In open top containers, packing and unpacking is easy by cranes for the purpose of flexibility to load and unload. Open containers have end doors. Oversized cargo such as machinery, timber, steel, scrap metals, etc. can be loaded easily from the top in an open top container. Next, let's see about high cube containers. They are almost similar to the other cargo containers except for the height. Compared to other standard containers, high cube containers are a little taller. High cube containers are mostly available in 40 feet length and commonly, and sometimes also in 45 feet containers too. Next is garments on hanger containers. GOH containers are available in 20 feet and 40 feet dimensions. In some countries, these are also known as hang tires. The GOH containers are available as dry cargo container, reefer container, etc. as per the requirements of the apparel shipper. These GOH containers use string or bar or combination of string and bars so that the garments can be directly hooked. Using hooks, garments on hanger containers are useful mainly for apparel exporters who can save a good amount of time, labor and money because these containers are flexible, have greater loading capacity and minimize transportation and thus reduce the handling cost. The next is tank containers. They are normally used to transport liquid products, powders and gas, and can carry both hazardous and non-hazardous products. Tank containers are made of stainless steel with a protective layer of aluminum and polyurethane. The capacity of a fuel tank container varies from 27,000 liters to 40,000 liters. Both smaller and larger fuel tank containers are available. These tank containers are owned by operators and leasing companies such as Stolt Tank Containers, Hoyer, Bulk Haul, Newport, and VOTG, etc., and they are available all over the world. The next is half-height containers, which are manufactured for movement of heavy goods with low volume cargo by rail and sea. Although the half-heighted containers are individually handled, containers are transported together. Generally, half-height containers are used to transport heavy cargo. Half-height containers are also used to move vehicles sometimes. The half-height containers are useful to transport overweight goods, pipes, tools, and other equipments. Half-height containers are used to transport gravel, sand, etc. The next is ventilated containers, also known as coffee containers. Natural ventilated containers and passive ventilated containers. There are two types of it. In a ventilated container, the ventilation is provided by opening in bottom and and also on the top side of the rails of the container. Such openings are made by protecting from rain or spray from outside to let in. The next is car carrier containers, which are used to move cars by road and rail. However, in exceptional cases, the car carrier containers are used to ship by sea also. Generally, RO, which is roll-on roll-off shipping arrangements, are done to move cars and other automobiles by sea. Under RO shipping, vehicles are directly driven on the RO vessel compared to shipment of automobiles with car carrier containers. The cost of transportation is less in RO shipping. Next is hardtop containers, which are containers equipped with a removable steel roof. The door header or hardtop container may be swelled out. These features allow us to pack and unpack the cargo very easily. Loading and unloading is also easy as the door header can be swelled out. The next is insulated containers, which protects goods from temperature and are used to move cargo such as pharmaceutical products, chemicals, food, etc. The thin wall of a standard dry container may be affected by external climate severely in hot summer days due to a lot of heat and severe cold in winter season. Insulated container helps to maintain consistent internal temperature up to some extent. It's interesting to note that any standard dry container can also be temporarily insulated by covering inner part of a body with necessary insulating materials. The next is tunnel containers. They have open ends at both sides, which looks like a tunnel when both sides of the doors are open. Tunnel containers are also known as tunnel-tainers, double-end door containers. So stuffing and destuffing are easy in a tunnel container due to its accessibility than a normal standard container. The cargo can be loaded and unloaded from both sides of the doors. A partition at the middle of the container can be made if necessary. The next is platform containers. Like other containers, platform containers are also manufactured with steel and hardwood. A platform container does not have any sides, ends, and roof, thus looks like an oversized pallet, and so we can load cargo to platform containers from any side. Normally, platform containers are used to transport heavyweight goods. Platform containers are also useful to load odd-sized cargo. Generally, the platform containers are used to move machinery, oil and gas equipment, and other heavy equipment. And the next is flat track containers. These are made of steel and floored with soft wood also. The walls can either be fixed or collapsible. 20 feet and 40 feet flat track containers are available in different sizes. If goods are to be loaded from the top or from the sides of the container, then flat track containers are best suitable. Normally, machineries, pipes, timber, steel, etc. are loaded in a flat track container. Most heavyweight cargo can easily be loaded in a flat track container compared to other types of containers. I hope you have a clear idea about the different types of containers used and how to use these different types of containers as per your products or application. But before you book any container, choose the right type of container that best suits your purpose and also take into consideration things like dimensions of the container, tire weight of the container, and of course the maximum payload weight. Although the size of the containers are said to be of standard measurements, in actuals it may vary slightly from one brand to another brand. Some of the top cargo container owners are NYK, Evergreen, CMA-CGM, Maersk of course, MSC, Hapag-Lloyd, APL, Costco, Hanjin, etc. You may reconfirm the exact weight, measurement and other details from the container owner or from their agents. Also note that you can also buy your own container, either it's a new container or a used container in seaworthy conditions, and use them for your goods. The advantage of using such shippers' self-owned container is you can save a lot of money from the detention fees levied with the shipping companies in cases where your unloading point is too far away from the seaport, or in case you need to hold the container for a longer period of time before you can return back the empty container back to the container yard. To know more about the demurrage charges and the detention charges, please click on the I button here to see our video on demurrage and detention. However, there are a lot of practical difficulties associated in owning a container on your own, as you need space to keep them when they are not on the sea, and you may need to have expensive equipment to move them around. So in most cases, leasing a container is the best option for now, especially for beginners. Well friends, you have been an awesome audience for having seen this video to the very end. We will discuss about another interesting and important topic in the next video, which will be released shortly. If you want to be notified automatically about our upcoming videos, then click on the subscribe button now, and also hit on the bell button to get instant notification when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching and take care. See you in another episode of bigbusiness.co.in. Until then, this is Krishna signing off from you. Good luck.